All right. Hopefully the audio is better. It could be a like multi-use thing. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm here. We're back. Hopefully that didn't mess up all the links. Everybody's here. Karen's here. Joey was here. Gosp. Gosp up top asking about INJ. We can look at it. Um, Probably not too much going on there. Steven Werner. Who else is here? Dr. Manhattan. The most anticipated Thursday broad market review yet, he says. Joey's going through it with his hardware wallet. I don't know why. He should not be plugging in his hardware wallet. He should be hodling like a good little holder. Polkadot. I mean, sure. We'll take a look at whatever anybody wants me to look at. Took a John. Blake's here. ICP. Sure. I mean, here's the problem here, right? The problem is nothing is following ETH realistically. And so what do? Do you wait? Sorry, ETH. Nothing's following BTC, right? BTC broke out basically on its own. Alts had a really good weekend, and they're just doing a bunch of nothing, right? So here's the question here. Do you preemptively rotate into alts before BTC potentially breaks down? That's the first question. Like, do you try to front run the rotation? What if BTC breaks up and alts still don't do anything? Then you're down even more. Then you're down even more. So there's a lot of very individual stuff going on. Like, I noticed LTC was picking up a little bit over the past couple days. It has outperformed. Ripple picking up a little bit. It has outperformed. HBAR on my list outperformed. Memes settled down a little bit. Near another one, I guess, that's outperforming, but not much is like doing much of anything. BTC down slightly. So I don't have a good answer to the alt question, other than you should have been in the most obvious trade. Not financial advice. The most obvious trade was not alts. That's been the most obvious trade. This is dominance. What do you need to know? Number go up on dominance. Grug C dominance up. Grug hold BTC. That's pretty much it. And man, the people, they come out in the comments, they're like, if you're only looking at the BTC pairs, then you're gonna miss all these moves, man. I mean, okay, I guess, but this is easy mode. This is just easy mode, right? Alts need BTC to be bullish. Alts need BTC to consolidate. That's what they need. That's what alts do best. So alts doing a bunch of nothing here tells me people aren't so sure BTC is done. BTC hasn't hit some logical like 100K psychological level. It looks tired. All the equities look tired. There's a small bear div here on the daily, very small. I closed out all of my leverage, all of my miners, mainly because we're looking a little heavy. It's not like, oh, the cycle's over. It's just, if you're playing leverage or beta from level to level, it's a question and answer, right? The question before the breakout was, what happens after the election? The answer was, we go up 25% on BTC. Okay. Now we see what happens up here. We consolidate. I don't see anything on the daily that's suggestive of anything one way or another. So I had an idea and it broke out, and now we wait, right? What we don't want to see is this. We don't want to see this, which was a head and shoulders triple top. We don't want to see that. Would love to see an ascending triangle here. Would love to see a flag here. Just the typical, very basic bullish continuation stuff. But on the daily, there's absolutely nothing so far. On the 4 hour, there's also really nothing. The other issue with this right now, to expect just like another 25%, is this clearly has gotten very parabolic. Okay. Now, again, it could keep going. It doesn't mean it has to stop. It's just at some point the buyers slow down. So it feels like we're hitting a wall a little bit, because it also feels like everybody's sort of front running 100K and they're like, all right, if I'm trading from 60 to 80 or 60 to 90, that's good enough for me, right? So now we're in the churn process of determining how many buyers are left. I don't see anything on the 4-hour that looks reversally here, but you can imagine something that looks like a head and shoulders. You can imagine it. So the first step is, as we consolidate, what do we get? Do we get anything at all? Anything discernible? If it is and has a bias, I can't just ignore this and say, okay, it's November, bro. It's up only season. This head and shoulders is not going to break down. I'm going to go long. I'm going to stay long. That's not how this works for me. If this looks like it's bearish, I can't do anything until you get your answer. Does it break down or does it invalidate itself, right? So 4-hour doesn't really tell you anything. Just naked, right? For me. The 1-hour, I don't know if this is anything, again, like all I can see here, not because I closed my leverage, but I just don't see anything turbo bullish at the moment. And this is an ultra low time frame. A lot can happen. But if we're trying to think about what this could look like, maybe this morphs into something that's similar to an ascending triangle. I don't know, right? But I don't really see anything super clean here. And that's about as far as I would go on the time frames, like trying to look for something. On the cloud, I know what I want to see because it's always the same every time. This has reached a point where you'd expect it to roll over on the cloud a little bit. So what do I want to see on the hourly specifically? I want to see this. I want to see price through cloud, price rolling over. I want to see everything resetting, everything. And then I want to look for this right here, right there. We'll turn it yellow. That's what I want to see every time. I want to see the bullish Kumo breakout on the hourly. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's all I want to see. So we are probably potentially a week away from that, potentially a couple days. Like, I don't know, right? You just have to see it play out. But I don't see anything here that's like screaming at me, get long, stay long, hold. Not really seeing that here. As far as a level to the downside, if we go to the 4-hour, what do you see on the 4-hour? You see a massive TK C-clamp starting. It's starting, okay? This is what the C-clamp may look like. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about here, a lot of this is just literally watching thousands of hours of cloud play out, right? So currently, on the 4-hour, we are holding above this blue line. That's the Tenkin. The first warning sign is breaking below the blue line. That's just basically a super fast moving average. It's like watching the 1050 moving averages. So I'm watching this on the 4-hour on the cloud. I would love to see a breakdown to 80. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love to see it. I'd love to see how the market reacts to that. If we get down there, I'm a buyer. So that's my like support level. If we get down there, I'm a buyer. Or if we break out of the hourly cloud, I'm a buyer. But here, I don't really see much of anything. And that's why alts make not a lot of sense to me, because you don't have a direct, obvious setup here. We can go to the weekly and we can say, there's a cup and handle here. What are you talking about? What does it matter? And you're right. Depending on your time frame, it doesn't matter at all. You shouldn't even be watching this stream. You should be going to buy more money or earn more money to buy BTC. That's it, right? So depending on why you're here and how long you're here and et cetera, yeah. Notice I did not say I sold spot. I didn't crack my hardware wallet like Joey apparently is. Unbelievable, bro. We got up here. It's not even been 2 weeks and he's already ready to crack the hardware wallet. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Anyway, this is still here. This target is insane. Okay, nothing's changed on that front. In the near term, yeah, it looks a little tired. It looks a little overbought. It looks a little exhausted. It's starting to get bear divs. If we look at the 4 hour, you got a higher high with a div. All this stuff can cancel out, right? But I cannot sit here and look at this and say, just, put my head in the sand. There's no bear div on the 4 hour. There's no C clamp on the 4 hour. There's no 1 hour rollover here. There's no like look at the distance from the Kijun here. On the daily, it's at 76. So if you think 80 is crazy, 80 is the Tenkin. But look how far we are away from this. Sure, Joey. Trying to cover his tracks. He says he's setting up a new hardware wallet. I don't know, bro. I don't know. So yes, I like 80. And again, on the daily, you can see the slow moving average, which is basically like the 10-day, I think, something like that. Yeah. So the 10 SMA, the 10-day moving average, also is telling you, just let's read the room a little bit. We are super far away from the 10-day, okay? Never mind the 50. So yeah, we're probably gonna just chill here for a minute. Probably. We can also look at the fractals, the Williams fractals. We have not had a single support fractal since 67. So again, if this was rolling over, then maybe I'd consider selling some spot coins. Not hardware wallet like Joey, but spot coins. Yeah, Joey lettuce hands, lechuga hands over here. We're not below the daily cloud. We have not tripped a daily Williams fractal. Those are the things that I'm worried about if I want to sell spot coins. For me personally. Okay, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm telling you what I'm doing. So there's no fear in that. And we obviously still have the cup and handle stuff. If you are bullish, just like Sol, if you're bullish on Sol to 1,000, what does it matter what price is doing now? If you have conviction and you think that's where it's going, what does it matter, right? If you have conviction that this is going well past 100, you're hoping for lower prices so you can buy more, okay? Fear and greed at 88. Yeah, I mean, that's a metric that you can use, I guess. I'm not too fond of that, but I know people that use it. So yeah, just looking at this, it's a little bit parabolic. And what do we know about people? People tend to sell when they're up a massive position super quickly. Look what happened over here, right? We moved up. This was, what percentage was this? This was 20% reconsolidated. 20% reconsolidated. Get the theme? 20% reconsolidated. Okay. Well, let's say the breakout was 70. This is now 34% from 70. It's 20% since election day, right? So it makes sense that we're consolidating here. I'm not worried about it. We also hit the complex inverted head and shoulders target. However I drew this, I don't remember, something like this, whatever. If we are fully in the expected move, this here, right? So yeah, that's why I took off the leverage and the miners. And the miners, oh man, they look atrocious. Atrocious. Let's look at IBIT too, because I think it's worth charting. I should put IBIT at the top here, but Legacy is clearly driving this more than the crypto people are. It's worth charting futures just to see, like, okay, are we seeing similar stuff here on futures? Yeah. You know, we're in the wheelhouse of expectations on targets here. If you go to IBIT, We are in the wheelhouse of expectations. If anyone's just charting IBIT, I don't know why they would be, but if they're just charting IBIT, how much more do you want, right? The risk reward up here at 51 is way worse than 40 and 37, just based on consolidation. But no, I don't think this is done. I just think it needs a minute to chill. It just needs a breather. And look at yesterday's candle. Shooting star, gravestone, whatever. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. This candle here, this is death, okay? This candle was on Kava too, I believe. We go to like a higher time frame, like the weekly Kava chart, monthly. Shooting star, gravestone, whatever. So it's kind of everywhere. Square is another one, similar. Shooting star, gravestone. Just not a bullish continuation candlestick. And miners not following at all. People very upset with that. But this is why you don't predominate. You don't make your portfolio mostly miners for this very reason. Just because it's beta and it has an expectation that it will outperform doesn't mean it will actually outperform. Thanks, Rich. Good to hear. All right, let me catch up with chat. Joey's trying to defend his honor. Well, you shouldn't have said you were working on your treasure, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Daily Kijun at 79. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, we could easily give back a decent amount and totally be fine. So, yeah, I'm not in a rush to add a bunch of leverage up here. I want to see what everybody else is doing. And it feels like everybody else wants to see what everybody else is doing, right? Nobody wants to show their hand first. The other reason I didn't like holding leverage much longer up here, this was the pitchfork from 2022. If you remember where we were in March on the pitchfork, we post ETF consolidated around the midpoint, shot up to the edge of this thing. We actually went, I added this extra wing. Okay, if we take off all the wings, this just shows you how overbought we are relative to the rate of change since 2022. The rate of change can speed up, it can slow down, but in general, it gives you some idea of what's going on here. This is log scale for anybody trying to draw this at home. So up here, based on the rate of change since 2022, we are fairly overbought. So if you didn't know what this ticker was and you're just looking at this thing and you see this trend channel, you're saying to yourself, it's a little overbought here, right? Is it a better buy or sell up here? That's it. So I don't like that. I don't like the candles. And it just makes more sense to let some go. We also, like I said, hit the target on the smaller consolidation. So to me, there was plenty of reasons that this thing needs to relax. All right. Do you consider any gaps? I don't really care about gaps. I know people are like, there's a big gap at 77 on futures. There would be people, how should I say this? There are going to be people there waiting for that gap to fill. So that's something else you can use and say, I like that level because of the gap. It's a pretty large gap. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I cannot tell you if you should buy BTC today or not. That's up to you. Do I have any tips on how to properly store a cold wallet? Don't keep it plugged into the internet. I can tell you that much. When you were saying that you got out of leverage, yes, Chuck, that includes 2x for me. That includes BITU. If we look at BITU and BitX had a similar candle. I don't know how easy that is to see on stream, but this candle right here, the shooting star, whatever, and there's tons of gap. You want to gap fill stuff. Look at all the gaps on BITX. Tons of gaps here. I didn't like the candle. It had already surged. You know, whatever percentage this is, 50%, 80%, 90%. I just don't know how much more you should expect. Like if you caught this at 30 and it hits 50, you know, like maybe give it a second, right? Same thing with BITU. If you caught this at 25 or something and it's at 50, right? Do you want to sit in that or not is the question. I sat in BITU since like June, okay? So I'm ready from that perspective to sell up here. Absolutely. Now I had averaged it down a little bit, but when I started buying, we turn on the cloud, I guess I was looking at the BITX cloud, but I started buying it here. Average down, I sold a little bit down here because I was afraid it was going to go lower, but the core position, I sold well up here. I don't think it's stupid to hold leverage here at all. I don't hate it. It's just how much more do you expect right now? You know, if we look at funding, where is it? If we look at funding, funding is fine. You know, if you're like on chain or whatever, it's elevated, but it's not, to me, it's not screaming like this has to go lower or anything like that. Funding looks fine. I don't know, right? It just depends on your entry. It depends on your sizing, your risk tolerance. It's hard to say like what you should do. I'm just saying funding looks okay. Funding looks okay. MSTR also, like BTC, I was in MSTR since July, okay? July, where's July? Over here, I added here in September. This is a great move for me, okay? So yeah, I closed that position completely. It's also on the higher end of the pitchfork. This was the plan the entire time. The plan was watch this consolidation, buy the breakout, pre-breakout, buy the cloud breakout. It hit the target, right? I didn't redraw this for the stream. This has been the target. The pitchfork didn't change. This is the pitchfork, right? That's why I closed the trade. That's it. But I like spot forever and always. Leverage makes a little less sense here to me. Gensler resigned. There's a Gonsler meme. That's funny. Coinbase App Store rankings. Yeah, I was trying. Hold on, let me see if I can. Kraken won't load for me. I don't know what that's about. Oh, there it goes, finally. Anyway, it's working now. I don't know why it wasn't working a second ago. The meme coin stuff. Yeah, I talked about this Wednesday on the video. A lot of this stuff did well. I hope people caught it. I caught some of them. I didn't catch all of them. I know we talked about this, but you have to be able to see this a trillion times historically and then just know what to do, right? If this, then that. If we get a multi-month consolidation, regardless of the ticker, multi-month consolidation with a cloud breakout, you have to be ready to go. You just have to be ready to go. I didn't know it was going to get listed in a bunch of places. This is Pepe. I didn't know it was going to get listed in a bunch of places, but here we are, you know. I wouldn't touch this thing here. I wouldn't touch Doge here. I wouldn't touch any meme coin here. Nothing. That's just me. That's just me. Been following your vids and buying the Kijun since 2018. Noel knows what's up. Noel knows what's up. If you look at the Kijun, like where's the daily Kijun on Doge? It's at 27 cents. Now, admittedly, Doge does look like a bull flag, right? It does. It clearly has clearly is flagging out here. It looks better than BTC to me, 100%. So you could turn on fractals. Williams fractals told you to buy here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the stream. Buy there, buy there. It's giving you another buy above 44 cents. I just feel like that's kind of risky up here, personally, for me. What's your target on 44? Probably like 59? I don't know. But it's in the wheelhouse of expectations on targets. But it does look good. It does look like it's flagging here on the 4 hour. 100%. Whiff just looks okay. I don't know. It broke out. Yeah, I'll check ICP. Someone else that was asking me about that. Some of this deep-in stuff, it looks okay. You know what I mean? It's just opportunity cost, and that's really what alts. I have this circled because this is what you're looking for. It's about opportunity cost. So, do you want to sit in this potentially until 2025? I don't hate that idea. I don't hate the idea of just eating this, knowing you'll be wrong, and saying, I don't care that I'm wrong now, as long as this doesn't break 666 or something, right? As long as this doesn't break this level, whatever stop loss makes sense to you, then I'm just sitting in this because I know historically alts are bullish eventually, and when alts are bullish, they overperform, right? I don't hate that mindset because we're getting closer to the time where you expect alts to do well. But you also have to be ready to be disappointed and say, I screwed up, right? So sizing this appropriately is very important. You don't want to go all in something that looks like this when it just hasn't done anything yet, right? And if you look at the BTC chart, I'm sure it's probably at all-time lows, right? Oh, they don't have one. We go here, ICP BTC. Is this all-time lows? You betcha. You betcha. What show was that? Bobby's World or something? Anyway, this is at an all-time low ICP against Bitcoin. I don't know. What do you want me to say, right? This historically has only been bearish, realistically, since listing. So I don't know. I don't know what to say, right? The USD pair looks like this. I like it better at 950. Here's what I like as a strategy for this. If you absolutely have to buy some, buy a little bit, just a little bit, and then buy more at 950. That's me. Buy a lot more at 950. But I like buying the breakout. I like buying highs. I do not like sitting in stuff just hoping it goes up. Some of these other deep in, do they have a category? Filecoin. Similar. It's at the bottom of a range. It looks atrocious against BTC. This could just flatline. I don't know. So it's up to you, right? I don't know. I have no idea. You just have to realize you're probably losing. You're probably losing for a long time and hoping that you eventually overperform. That's what you're doing. Most people could care less. They just see USD pairs, fine, right? Okay. Like, yeah, Ripple's up 14% today. against BTC, it's down infinity, right? So like, does it really matter? You know, does it really matter? I know the altcoiners don't want to hear that, but that's the issue. That's the issue. Sol, we'll just do a few of these, and I'll go pull some from chat. Sol looks fine. I have no issues with it. I have no issues with the $1,000 target on Sol. If you think that's the target, then you just hold. What else is there to do? It looks fine. It's lagged BTC, but so is just about everything, right? Here, to me, this just looks neutral against BTC. So I like alerts at like 0027 to say, hey, this is where it probably, maybe, possibly will start to outperform BTC. But the USD pair looks fine. ETH is a completely different story. ETH looks atrocious on the BTC pair. I mean, what is this? What is? I can't even pull it up. I'm just shaking. I'm shaking. What is this? What is going on here? Just total Christmas tree, straight up, straight down. So when you live through this enough and you see this enough and you trade this enough, you just realize it's not worth it. It's not worth it trying to pick a bottom. If it's going to be bullish on the daily, then I'm there. I'm there, right? But this had a div, it had a falling wedge, and it went nowhere. Okay, right? We can talk about fundamentals and ETH 16.0, and we can talk about all that stuff, but it has not mattered. It hasn't mattered. We can talk about the ETH burn. We can talk about the ETFs. We can talk about options volume. Like, you can tell me anything you want, and I'll just show this chart to you. Okay, what is there to say? It's a disgrace. Okay, it's just not bullish on the daily, on the 3-day, on the weekly. There's nothing here. Absolutely nothing here. It looks horrible. Looks horrible. So maybe Ben is right. Maybe we need QE for alts. There's been a ton of stablecoin. There's been at least 7 billion printed since I don't know, October, and ETH has gone nowhere. Just looking for a good multiple. Yeah, so I think similar to the memes, right? Do I think the memes are going to run another 150% before some of the other alts wake up? I don't think so, but I don't know. Just looking at this in a vacuum, ICP in a vacuum, it looks okay, but it looks better in 2025. It looks better above 950. That's it. That's it. Where does this go? 20. End of story, right? That would be my target on a breakout. And there's a ton of stuff that looks like this. ETH USD. I like ETH. I would love to see it retest 3,000. So this old support turned resistance, potentially turned back into support at 3,000. The cloud likes 28. I'll take any of that stuff. I don't know why I've deleted this like 16 times and it still shows up. But ETH has hit the target. This was the target. It hit the target. You can't really ask much more in the moment without a reconsolidation. Thank you. Thank you for the supers, D-Chen. So yeah, it's like, but if you're in ETH, you're not looking at the price chart. You're not looking at ETH BTC. You're just seeing all of the fundamental stuff that you like. And that's fine. I don't care. It's not for me. I'm not telling you what to do. But this chart does not look good relative to everything else. It just needs time. It needs time. Let me scroll up here. Someone else was asking about... Brian Brown is asking about Moonwell. I don't know what that is. Is it Moon? Like, what are we doing? All right, if this is Moonwell, which I don't know that if it is, but the chart looks okay. It's above the cloud. This is the exact thing that I look for. So will this do well? I have no idea. I have no idea. You're trading penny stocks, right? Trend wise, this is what you're looking for. Exactly what you're looking for. But that's as far as I can take it. I have no idea. You know, have more people heard about Moonwell or ETH? Moonwell or BTC? Moonwell or MSTR? You know? So that's the issue. Like, this is, you know, it's probably like number 600 on the list here on Kraken. That's part of the issue. People have to know it exists. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff, and that's the issue with the miners. There's so much stuff. You have so many options. You don't just have the miners anymore. You have the leveraged BTC products. You have MSTR. You have the ETFs. Who needs the miners, right? Who needs the miners when you've got all this other stuff that trades better, cleaner? I think it trades a lot cleaner, personally. What else do we talk about? We talked about Doge. I don't know. I just think everything needs a minute. Someone was asking about FET, right? Core, Popcat, like, yeah, okay, fine. FET just, it looks okay. You've got NVIDIA earnings next week, I think. Maybe they do well into earnings. I don't know. This just looks like a garbled mess to me. Popcat, I don't really have anything to say. You know, what is there to analyze here? It has sort of gone up. It has sort of chopped around. I don't have anything to say. ENA had an inverted head and shoulders play out. And now what? I'm not sure. If ETH can get cooking, then ENA maybe does better. I don't know. It's just, you don't have, the ecosystem isn't exactly super bullish. You've got the sector, the meme stuff is doing great. L1's doing okay, but ETH as a ecosystem hasn't really done much. There's some DeFi stuff that's done okay. I guess you're hoping that this is not some sort of rising wedge, and you're hoping that it's some sort of channel. I don't know. It looks okay. ICP gets shilled by TikTok influencer. Tia's another one. I don't want my bearishness to be confused with this can't go up. It can. It just hasn't shown you that it has the ability to do so. But I like an alert at like 585. If it can get back up there, then I like it. Not before then. Not a penny before then, because it's still below the daily cloud. It's still trying to maybe, possibly, potentially make some sort of bottom head and shoulders thing, okay? But it's flat, right? So I like to be there when the momentum is there, not just sit in this stuff hoping that it outperforms, because I'm sure against Bitcoin, this looks atrocious. Loose? I don't know that one. Where do people find this stuff? I don't know that one. Any macro events to consider? NVIDIA earnings next week. Jobs at the end of the month. The usual stuff. CPI we just had. PPI we just had. So the next thing is jobs, and then FOMC. The beginning of December. Just reading chat. Moonwell is well. Is that on Kraken? It is not. It is not. Is it on anywhere that I look at? Here we go. Oh, it's on. It's on this one. What do you think I would say? Brian Brown, if that is your real name. What do you think I would say? I just don't understand, how do people find this stuff? That's what I don't get. This does not look like anything to me. It looks just junk. I have no idea. You got to remember, you're playing penny stocks. If you're playing that stuff. Gala, I think that's on Kraken. Yeah, sure, right? You know what I'm going to say? Anything that's above the cloud, why not? Is it going to outperform BTC, ETH, or Sol? I have no idea. Link is another one that looks okay here. Same thing. It's above the cloud. Sure. It spent 7 months going down, and now it might go up. AVAX is another one. Looks okay. Holding above the cloud there. But to me, what makes the most sense is everything's waiting for BTC. Like, give it a week. Give it a week, and then let's talk. Does BTC stay flat? Does it consolidate between 80 and 90? Like, what's going on here, you know? H-bar, yeah, H-bar looks okay. I can't discuss the ETF announcement, but it did have one. Maybe it's doing well because Gensler looks like he's ready to leave or something. He's going to get fired, allegedly, or however you want to put that. Trump said he would fire him. Gensler put out a letter today basically saying goodbye. So maybe that's why H-bar's up. Apt also looks okay. It looks okay. Looks okay. Trend-wise, it looks okay. We'll look at Sui as well. Sui looks fine. Looks fine. I would rather trade this than anything else we just talked about because it's clearly got momentum. You're not trying to pull up ICP yourself, you know? You've got lots of other people buying this thing, pushing it higher. Say doesn't look horrible, flat. Maybe a cup and handle thing, maybe an inverted head and shoulders thing. Looks okay. Looks okay. Near this, again, because of NVIDIA earnings, here's the hypothesis. The hypothesis is into an NVIDIA earnings, AI coins trade higher. I think that's what we've seen for the past couple earnings reports, periods, whatever. You'd have to backtest that, get out the dates, and say this is how it's looked. So that may be why this is doing better. It looks okay. It measures to like 7, 8. That's all. LTC we looked at. LTC looks good. It's above the cloud. Looks good. I like 200. 200 on LTC. Does that outperform anything? No idea. Absolutely no idea. But that would be the level. Let's do something. Let's go a step further, chat. Let's go to coin metrics. Let me see if the LTC MVRV is on here. It should be. Oh, yeah. Oh. Look at this bad boy right here. Let's add price. LTC price. We'll go other axes. Okay. So this is MVRV for LTC, and it just so happens price and MVRV for LTC line up pretty well. Typically this tops out like 2.5 to 3 on MVRV on the left axis here. So that would be 225 to 285. That's like the stretch target. When you say a chart looks good, what do you mean by that? I mean, it's above the daily cloud. Trend looks good. You're not fighting, you know, it doesn't look like it's going straight down forever. So LTC has been above the daily cloud since October 16th. It hasn't done much, but it's been above the daily cloud since October 16th. BTC has been above the daily cloud since September 18th. So since September 18th, it has told you, be long, get long, stay long. The entire time. Good things happen above the cloud. Bad things happen below the cloud. This is SMCI. It always helps. It's like math, you know? You look at the extremes. You look at like negative infinity and positive infinity, right? This is the negative infinity extreme. This thing closed below the daily cloud on July 24th. That's all, folks. That's when I exited. I had a position on this, but I exited right there because good things don't happen below the cloud. Contrast that with earlier in the year. Good things happen above the cloud. Good things happen above the cloud. So the trade on SMCI was above the cloud to the TK cross. This also had head and shoulders. You typically find that the end of the trend has some sort of reversal pattern, typically. So when I say something looks good, I'm saying it's above the cloud. It's above the cloud. I don't want to touch this at all the moment it goes below the cloud. And the same thing with BTC, the same thing with anything. Square is another good example right now. Square on the weekly has consolidated for, drumroll please, almost 1,000 days. Almost 1,000 days. It is finally above the weekly cloud. Will this consolidate for another 1,000 days? I don't know. But good things happen above the cloud. Good things happen. So that's what I'm looking for always is it a fresh breakout or not? Are we above or below the cloud or not? Someone was asking about pitchforks. We can look at that. I think I have one here, don't I? I did at some point. For the pitchfork, you just need 3 points. Those 3 points are typically extremes in price. So if we go back here, this is what log. This is curve fitting on purpose, by the way. So if we back this up to like October 2023, this might be something you're looking at. You know, it depends. It is curve fitting. You have to know that it's curve fitting, but it's curve fitting that's intelligent because it's looking at these price points. I don't put the anchor down here and say, oh man, look at this pitchfork. I don't put the anchor up here randomly, right? The anchors are on price. They're not just free floating. Now you can always draw a channel however you want, but that's not a pitchfork. It's a channel. You can say, where's the channel? We can say we had a channel, I don't know. You know, we had some sort of channel up here, whatever. Fine, right? That's a channel. It tells you buy here, sell there, whatever. That's not what the pitchfork is trying to do. The pitchfork is specifically anchored. Maybe the channel looks like this. I don't know, right? to me, each has its purpose, but where I can find a decent pitchfork, I try to use it. Just because I've seen them play out so many times on Bitcoin, on legacy, that sort of stuff. Bobby's World, somebody gets the reference. The mom, yes, thank you. My legacy cloud is 1852 104 26. That's legacy. Do I earn money? No, I don't actually earn money trading, officer. I'm just an analyst. I don't own any crypto. I just come to you people every week, every hour. I'm on Twitter. Yes, that's predominantly how I've made my money for many years now, is trading. Is it possible, or is it all a gamble? It's intelligent gambling. That's my argument. I don't like poker. I don't like casinos. I don't have an edge in that stuff. Whereas to me, the technicals, I feel like, give me an edge. Thank you, Gosp. Thank you. Which chart? Delivio, sorry. I'm just catching up with chat. LTC target on the LTC, I don't know. I can't answer that question because LTC BTC looks like this, right? I don't know. This thing, literally, it's been 2 years below the cloud. 2 years below the cloud on the daily. The 2-day cleans it up a little bit. It's just been down only, right? There's your answer. So where does this go? I have no idea. You can say maybe this goes to some 50% retracement, but I don't have a target that I could really give you, honestly. What are your thoughts on Jamie Coots? Good to DCA. I don't know who that is or his analysis. Sorry. Why has ETH been not great this year? Kind of like the miners. ETH is not in a vacuum. It has a ton of competition, and that's been increasing over the years, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. As an ETH maxi, not you, Ian. Ian? Yeah. Not you, Ian, but just in general. There's other places to put your money, and there's other places to put fast money. Fast money loves meme coins because you get an answer in a 24-hour period. So the less fast money you have, and the worse the chart looks, the harder it is to push this thing up. So we can talk about fundamentals all you want, but it's above the cloud, right? But man, it may do well. I just don't know if it's going to do better than everything else. And that's kind of what everyone else is asking. There's just better places to put your money. Jasmine, is that on? So to me, this looks like a head and shoulders trying to happen. Whether or not it breaks down, I don't know. But that's what I see. That is what I see. We will leave it there. So that way, next time we come back to this, we'll see if I'm right or not. But I would not trade this to the long side, but that's just me. The primary value prop for smart contracts is memes and scams. Historically, I'm going to have to agree with you. Look at ICOs. ICOs are regulatory arbitrage. ETH captured that, and then it moved to Binance Chain, and then it got scattered into the wind, and now Solana has a lot of that. You know, it just is what it is. Had question on X. ETH weekly sometimes open to TK recross. Yeah, like if BTC does well, everything's going to do well. That's not really a question. The question is whether or not it leads, lags, or just keeps pace. It looks okay, but Sol looks way better on the weekly to me. I don't know if this is going to cross bullish here, if that's what you're asking specifically. If this can hold up, sure. Like, is there a cup and handle here? Sure. Like, where does that measure? Let's take a look. Let's just go here to there. ETH to 10,000. Okay. I think that's a pretty common target for ETH. ETH 10K. ETH 10K is less than a 4x from here. Sol 1,000 is less than a 5x from here. BTC to 300,000 is a little more than a 3x from here. But in the moment, ETH just looks okay. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about it. Cloud settings, 20, 60, 120, 30 for crypto. Sorry, did you... I definitely have an edge. Thank you, Dorito. Take a look. We can take a look at Fartcoin, but is my trading view dead? Maybe my trading view died too. I don't know. It's not. It literally doesn't want to find it. I don't know. My trading view is not working right now. Sui and Say I looked at. Sui looks great. I like how everyone's like, look at these 10 things. Give me their targets and stop losses. Sui looks great because it's got a cup and handle, right? People ask me like, what would you do with a small account? I wouldn't be on Dex Screener. Look, I'll tell you that much. That's just me. I would be finding setups with a huge risk reward and just waiting. So, you know, if you think Solana is going to 1,000, let's say it goes to 800 instead, and it's a 4x from here. Still a pretty good trade. Sui, I like to like 7. Here's your cup and handle. KMNO, I think someone asked about as well. I don't have anything to say. I don't know. And then say looks fine. It's above the cloud. I don't know. I don't really have a target. $1. $1. There's your target. $1. Pepe's done. Whoever's asking me, I don't have a target for Pepe because it hit the target. It's in the target. It's living in the target. Peanut, I have no idea. I'm not pulling that up. 10 million trillion zillion. I have no idea. I don't have any analysis for that one. A0. Well, chat, what do we think about A0? What do you think I should say about A0? Oh, man. Does this look bullish to the chat? I don't know. It's hard because I've been training for a little while. So I don't know where these people asking about these coins, what their background is. But this is not anything I would touch ever. 0. Yeah. 0 or A0? 0, A0 to 0? It's just, yeah, A0 to 0. Thank you. Okay. INJ for GOSP. I said, I guess this is on Kraken. I said this already had a 5,000% move, right? trend-wise, it is above the daily cloud. I like it from that perspective, okay? It paid its dues. It consolidated bearishly, went flat. It's above the cloud. This is the type of thing I would look for on a fresh long, okay? But here's the issue. The issue is it's in 2023, it was just from the breakout, it was up 1,000%. But from here, yes, it meets my trend criteria being above the cloud. What about on the 5 minute? You're kidding, right? Set it to crypto. Tau. Tau is testing the cloud, I'm told. I mean, it looks okay. Again, it had a great move. I don't know. It even had like a head and shoulders thing here that broke out, gave it all back. I don't have a great answer for this one, for Tau. It just looks okay. What's a exchange with more data? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see anything there for me. Someone keeps asking about GSOL, which I sincerely hope they are not trading, because that thing's got a bajillion% premium, I thought, but based on this chart, maybe not. Let me just double check. On CoinGlass here, data, where's it at? Grayscale. Solana has a 100% premium. So there's that. Okay, not for me. I realize why you're trading it, because you have access in your account, retirement accounts or whatever. Where did my chart go? There it is. I don't know if this is somebody redeeming. I don't know what's going on there. I just wouldn't touch this. Retirement account or not, find something else to trade. What's up, Burns? Link looks good, Brian. It's above the cloud. What more can you ask for? Like I said, there's a lot of coins that look like Link, look like Litecoin. By above the cloud, I mean the daily. They look okay. They look okay. Good. I'll say good. Looks good. Yeah, Ryan, I'm gonna stay away from that one. Is that all on the crypto side? What is this? XRP. Yeah, XRP is above 66 cents. So that was my criteria. Down here. It's above the high time frame cloud. It's above 66 cents. Sure, right? I don't know. Looks okay. Looks okay. All right, lots of people asking me about legacy, so we'll switch to that. Did I talk about MSTR? I did. Yeah, I talked about it. It, like spot, it needs to cool off. It's way too hot. MNAV or not, whatever metric you're thinking this thing can go to infinity, it can, but it's probably going to cool off a little bit here first. Okay, so it's not for me. Coin, same thing. This thing needs to cool off. It was up like 40% in a week, 50% in a week, whatever. What was this actually up? 90% in like 4 days. Okay, so yeah, it's going to need a minute to just relax. PayPal I still like. On the weekly, wrong cloud. On the weekly, looks fine. Weekly twist. You know, this is like literally the the picture perfect setup that I'm looking for on everything. Down only for years, sideways, flat, consolidates, breaks through the cloud. Do I know that this is going to do well? I have no idea, but good things happen above the cloud, definitely. Hood. I got rid of the rest of my hood this week. I think it'll probably do fine. I just think if you're in from 12 like I was, then you know, you've seen a good move here for sure. SQ, we talked about another chart that looks ready to go. It's above the cloud. It consolidated for 1,000 days. It looks good to go. Dean says he's blocked by me on Twitter. Well, I either thought you were a bot or I blocked you on accident. I mostly mute people. So if I blocked you, it must have been something real special. Why you use a stablecoin when you can just trade USD? Yeah, a lot of people asking questions about this versus that. It mainly comes down to access. You know, people in Europe don't have the same access to stuff that we here, and vice versa, right? Like, they don't have ETFs in Europe, I don't think, like the UK, right? So, Chegg, I'm assuming you're asking me because you want to go long. It doesn't meet my criteria. It has to be above the cloud. It's not above the cloud. And you can say it's oversold, it's been down only, it's got a div. All right, that's fine. But on the daily, this thing looks tragically awful. That's it, right? I don't have anything else to say. Weekly, contrast this with Square, right? Square is above the weekly. You would obviously be playing this for a bounce, mean reversion or something, but it's not for me. It's not for me. My edge is finding the trend and riding the trend. So that would be here to here, and then maybe getting back in, and then here. Okay. But below the cloud is no-go for Joshua. This is a no-go for me. No, 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 no. You will find that having basic trend following rules will just make your life so much easier. So much easier. I go back to SMCI. God, this saved me so much. Can I just tell you? Anyway, NVIDIA, someone was asking about. NVIDIA still looks fine. Trading View, hello. It's above the cloud. I don't know. It looks just kind of, it's probably just waiting for earnings, right? I don't have like, I don't see like a great setup here. But if you're playing earnings, you're playing it to the long side is my guess. But I don't know. Like, it looks okay. Maybe it hits 200. I don't know. It just, I don't like playing events, so I don't like playing earnings. I don't like playing anything like that. What did I do over here? But yeah, the trend looks okay. Moderna, I know what that chart looks like because I just looked at it. Not great. Again, you gotta have, oh my God, can I spell? Moderna. You gotta have some basic trend following rules to keep you out of trouble. I do not care if this bounces from 20 to 50 to 200. I don't care. It's not above the daily cloud. Okay. So for me, it's just not where I want to be. It's not where I want to be. This looks horrific. Horrific. Another one is Stellantis. This is Chrysler Autos. They're laying off people every week. It still looks horrific. Absolutely horrific. Is it down 80% from highs or whatever? Sure, but that's not a reason to just jump up with both hands and buy this thing. I want to see this consolidate. I want to see it above the cloud. Even if you're just paper trading, I think charts like this are super interesting. Like, where would you want to enter this? Same thing with Moderna, same thing with Chegg. Like, the cloud isn't going to lie to you. It's not going to say enter this now. It's going to say wait for the breakout. We can look at Zoom. We can look at PayPal. We can look at Alibaba. We can look at KWeb. All this stuff. It's always the same story. You're always looking for the exact same thing. We can look at Peloton. Same thing. I guess this would be like the 3-day or the 2-day, but so I like these charts infinitely more than Moderna, Stellantis, any of that stuff. Because these have proven to some degree that they're trying to go up instead of infinitely down. Die, Stellantis. Marius, I looked at GSOL. I don't have an opinion. It's got a 170% premium. I wouldn't touch it. I would not touch that. I don't care if it's SOL or not. It's got a premium. Why? Tesla, sorry. I'm just trying to catch up with chat. Tesla has the inverted head and shoulders thing on high time frames. You're playing with a loose cannon, right? How does Tesla do well? If Elon does well, how does Elon do well? The more corruption and greed and money getting thrown at Tesla from the government, right? Okay, fine. That can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's best case. Now let's say Elon and DJT get in a spat over the weekend, and then this opens down 5%. Okay, like the TA you could throw out the window, But yeah, this looks fine. It looks okay. I like it better at 270 because then it would be a head neckline retest. But that's it. I don't have anything else to say about Tesla. How does this look against Bitcoin, I wonder? Like nothing. Like absolutely nothing. NVIDIA relative to BTC. Breaking down. Love to see it. Love to see it. Earlier someone was asking about gold. Pfizer's another one relative to Moderna. I would not touch this with a 1,000-foot pole because it broke down below the daily cloud. That's it, right? You're looking for this. This is always what I'm looking for. You're looking for a breakout after a downtrend. That's when I give it a chance, right? But this didn't go anywhere, so I'm out. I'm out. You got your answer, You got your answer. Gold. Love to see gold pull back. The daily is probably going to reset completely, and by that I mean the cloud is going to reset completely, most likely. This will take probably a month. So right now it's neutral. How the cloud works, from the TK cross, it has been bullish. You're going to get a TK cross bearish here. And now for the next month, this will make a decision, consolidate in a bullish or bearish fashion, and then probably continue in 2025. But I don't see a trade here on gold other than the cloud telling you it is no longer as bullish as it was. Gold typically moves super slow, so that's why I say a month instead of like a week. You're looking for the full cloud reset package here. High time frames, it's like Solana. If you think Solana's going to 1,000, what do you care about my opinion? If you think gold is going to 3,000, 4,000, okay, is that a trade or an investment? The weekly looks tired. It's up a lot. There's some fundamental analysis that DJT president equals less geopolitical risk because of less war, so that means less need for gold. DJT wants to cut government spending. Maybe that's worse for the sound money net, right? We can make things up, but the daily doesn't look good, right? It just doesn't look good. It looked good for a while, and now it doesn't. That's it. So I want everybody to go to Costco and return your gold bars. No, I'm kidding. MSTR 1000? Sure, in 2026 maybe. Buffett sitting on record cash, I'm not worried about because he was potentially getting ahead of capital gains taxes, which aren't going to come to fruition. He's potentially unloading to set his successor up for a clean slate. He's potentially unloading because the Apple position was too high relative to the portfolio. So you had concentration risk. And if you look at the percentage cash relative to total value, it's not as crazy as the 325 billion looks. It's just like the 7 trillion money market value that came out today. Relative to what, right? 7 trillion relative to the money supply, 7 trillion relative to total bank reserves. You need to sort of put it into perspective a little bit. Somebody wants me to seriously look at Zcash. I mean, we can. We can look at it on the weekly cloud, he says. It's in the weekly cloud. I'll give you that. Does it have a history of success? Not really. It might do decent into 2025, but you got to be honest. Like, is Moonwell gonna outperform BTC? Realistically, I don't know. Maybe. Is Zcash gonna outperform? I don't know. Maybe. All the miners look atrocious, Marius. They just look awful. I think coin needs to relax. Ian. Disney had, we looked at this last stream, right? Yeah, it had kind of like SMLR, which is the poor man's MSTR. This is trying to round off. It's above the weekly cloud. I like it more than I did the week before. I like it a little better potentially over the next 2 weeks if this can settle in above like 110. So it doesn't look horrible. The target on this, I don't know why I have this. Must be because of the cloud. The target on this would be 150. If I can find the stupid thing, which I cannot because I do this. There it is. Somewhere up here. It looks okay. I'm in XLE again. I'm ready. I'm 100% ready to get burned again. I was in XLE back here. Somewhere back here. I held on to it, let it go of it. I think it was like break even. So maybe I'll let go of it at 90 or something. I'm back in it again. High time frames look good. It's got a inverted head and shoulders thing. The ascending triangle is still there. I don't know. I think it looks fine again, right? I don't know. Like this might do nothing. This might break out. I have no idea. CrowdStrike, sure. What did we say on this one? I can delete all that at this point. On the daily, the first thing I see is this diamond, right? I don't know is this the diamond breaking out to the top side? Is this the diamond invalidating? If this breaks up, you're talking like a pretty crazy target, like 600. I like IGV personally. It's just software ETF. I think it has a decent move higher still. Hack is another one, very similar. Cup and handle looks good. Cybersecurity ETF. NANC. Nancy. I mean, it looks good. It kind of looks like the S&P with NVIDIA, right? It's kind of what it looks like. I don't know. I don't really see like a great setup here. I don't know. You're welcome, Z Cole. How do you determine an exit position that took a cloud outbreak? Gotta ask that question a different way. How do I determine an exit that took, okay, a Kumo breakout that reverted to under the cloud? So the cloud is always your stop loss. If you just look at this as an example, you always want to catch this on the breakout. The moment it closes in the cloud, I am out. On the daily, that's why I'm always looking at the daily. Where does this look relative to the cloud on the daily? So entry, exit, same every time, any chart, never changes. It's always the same. So if it goes into the cloud, you're out. Pfizer's a great example. Just again, as an example, this had a breakout, closed back into the cloud a few times really, and it just, no, out, boom. Okay, that saved me, how much percent did this save me? It saved me 8% to the downside. SMCI, right? You can list off all these examples. You do not want to be in the cloud. That's if you're long, the cloud is not where you want to live. All the more reason to just let BTC relax here, figure out how it wants to consolidate. Roblox. Damn it. We'll do a few more, then we'll get out of here. I'm still holding this. I think it looks fine. I think my options expire. The last option I have expires tomorrow. It's going to expire worthless. But that's okay. The chart still looks fine. I still like it. Do I ever venture over to Dex Screener? Never. Never. Just reading chat. EA actually, not EQ. EA actually looks similar to, we even drew this out at some point apparently. Similar to XLE, it's got that ascending triangle stuff, right? So yeah, EA looks good. Fresh breakout there. GRN, is this grinder? Oh, it is. Okay. It looks fine. It looks fine. It's an uptrend. It's this like channel thing, right? Something like that. Looks fine. I don't know. I have nothing to say, but it's clearly in some sort of channel. Amazon, sorry, somebody kept asking about that. I like Amazon here because Uncle Jeff sold all his Amazon that he wanted to by the looks of it. This also has a cup and handle. If we do something like that. Cup and handle breakout target would be what? Like 400, something like that? 2x? That would be wild. But it's also lagged the rest of the Mag 7 here. Is Ledger ever going to start up only? I don't know. I don't talk to Brian too often these days. Cloud settings 2061, 2030, 20. Somebody take a shot every time someone asks the cloud settings. They'd be in the hospital. Those are my cloud settings. I would not eat Skittles, no. Shopify. It had an earnings. What a nasty looking chart. As far as just all over the place, you know. I don't know if I'd touch it here. I don't know if I touch it here. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing. How does the cloud know? It's basically a type of moving average system, and that's why it works. It's constantly looking at high, low, and midpoint, and then spitting out what it spits out. I think that's all we got for this stream, right? Anything else? Any last minute uranium? You got to give me a ticker because URA maybe. Uranium is like DeFi, where it's like I'm personally super bullish on a nuclear future. Uranium, love it. I just don't know if that's gonna actually play out on the price, you know. So it's like, yeah, DeFi's cool, but that doesn't mean price goes up. You know. INTC would not touch this because it's way below the cloud. I just know it is. Oh, I guess it's not. I guess it's it is. It's in the cloud. Still, this company. It's like Boeing, right? There's how many things to trade? Like thousands and thousands of things to trade. Why are we trying to trade Boeing? This doesn't make sense. Just trade anything else. Anything else. You. Yeah, this one. This is a Jack favorite. I got nothing. This thing looks like infinity chop. Absolutely infinity. 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 Not for me. They have a new CEO. ASML VeChain. ASML is also below the cloud. This thing, not for me. Not for me. A gigantic mess, this one. Gigantic. Not for me. Last one, vet, not vert, vet. Well, it's below the weekly cloud. Sort of trying to get above the daily. I think most people don't even know what this is. You know, I wouldn't trade this personally. I would look at the volume lists on wherever you trade. And if you're scrolling down to the bottom of this list and you're looking at some of these pairs, like let's look at air. Never heard of it. It's like number 90 on the list, 90th percentile. Do I really want to fool around with this? I don't. I just don't. Does that mean it can't do well? It could, right? That's just not my style of trading. That's all. So something like vet. Is this on? Is it on Kraken? No, it's not on Kraken. So yeah, I like to stick to like the top of the market cap list personally. That's just me. Anyway. Do I use a website to research stonks? I do not. I do not. I use chat. Chat tells me to look at Palantir, to look at what's the best idea chat has had recently. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But no, a lot of it's just I listen to a lot of legacy media where they talk about stuff. So that's where a lot of my screeners come from. Not that that's a good idea or anything. Like, it's just good to hear what are people looking at. I may completely disagree with their conclusions, but it's interesting to hear what people are looking at. Sony actually looks insane. All right, last one. Here we go. If it doesn't look insane, Dev is banned from the Discord. He's banned from my life if it doesn't look insane. I don't know, chat. What do we think? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down on Sony? I don't know if insane is the right word. It just looks okay to me. So Dev, I'm sorry. Gonna have to ban you from my life, buddy. All right, that's it. That's all I got today. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. BTC's selling off. It's time to log off for the day. Talk to you guys later.